We just had a boatload of Metroid Prime 4 info dumped on us the other day, and it was a lot of information from people that got to preview the game, giving us new footage, and also a full overview trailer from Nintendo themselves. But with all that new information, we were supposed to be happy and enjoying everything that Nintendo had to show us, but for one reason, the community's divided. Now, let me start off by saying I'm actually somebody who is very excited for this game, and I love everything that they've shown off so far. And I mean everything. That goes for the Federation Troopers as well. I'm also somebody that's played every mainline and spin-off 2D and 3D Metroid ever. And as somebody who is very vocal on things that they don't like, I mean, you guys heard how I was with Mario Kart World and even The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, where I was very vocal of my opinions on those games. So it's absolutely okay and understanding why some fans might be feeling a little upset by certain things that they decided to do with this game. So I'm here to see a little bit of both sides, but let me talk about why I'm not worried about this whatsoever. So everybody's up in arms about one particular thing about this game, or right now, one in particular person. This is Miles McKenzie, and he is a Federation trooper that's primarily a mechanic in the game. Now, he's one of the few troopers that will join you in some specific missions, and according to the actual gameplay from the previews, the missions that he was on with you was only around an hour long, and then you went back on your journey alone. Now, people hate Miles McKenzie simply due to the fact that he's a chatterbox. He's one of those typical side characters that just chats, does witty jokes, and a lot of people are comparing it to Marvel humor.
Oh! Whoa! You are sneaky quiet, you know that?
You're alone, on a planet, with no hope of survival. But you're also not sitting next to Phil anymore in that cubicle, so... Win?
Look, maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm just a goofy child with my humor, but I thought he was actually pretty funny, and it was a kind of different take for a side Metroid character that I wasn't too upset about. Most of the hate for this game is just the existence of him. All the previews pretty much said the game was perfect, but Miles just ruins the experience. Now, it's not just because of his jokes. A lot of the previewers said it's also because he holds your hand with some of the things. He tells you where you need to go, what you need to do, and often even that you need to save your game, which is pretty ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. If that's the case, yeah, they need to tone that down. Now, once again, it seems to only be for like around an hour of gameplay in that first world, and we know from Nintendo that we're gonna have lots of other companions as well, with probably different abilities, which is pretty cool, but they're probably not going to be all as talkative and nerdy and annoying as Miles, which the description even says that he's a very talkative character. But why is it that people hate Samus having any sort of companions at any point of the story? Well, it's simply due to the fact that every single Metroid fan that I've seen so far brings up the word isolation. For the most part in Metroid games, you are alone. It's you and the environment and the mystery around that environment. And of course, the wildlife. Between the alien creatures and the rugged space pirates, it's literally just Samus on this adventure. And a lot of people tie the entire series of Metroid into that isolation. And trust me, I get it. Having that level of isolation is important for Metroid because it's always what it's been about. And it helps to build that world and that mystery and the wonder that Metroid Prime offers. But I'm also on the side of, I hate the fact that Metroid has like no supporting characters. If you ask any casual Nintendo fan to name 3 Mario characters, they could easily do so. Or 3 Zelda characters, I'm pretty sure they could easily do so. 3 Kirby characters, of course. 3 Pokemon, absolutely. But if you ask a casual fan to name 3 Metroid characters, I guarantee you they will have a hard time. They'll probably give you Samus, Dark Samus, and Ridley, maybe Kraid, but then when you look at that, 3 of those characters are alien monsters that don't say a word. I'm one of the rare fans that actually was a big fan of Metroid Other M, and I think Metroid Prime 3 Corruption is probably my favorite of the Prime games because it offers a wider world, more lore and characters to actually interact with. You can talk with the Galactic Federation soldiers, you can talk with other hunters as well. It's another reason why I love Metroid Prime Hunters because they expanded on the Metroid world. It's not just Samus out there, which I love the isolation, don't get me wrong, but it's also nice to have those interactions. Do I wish that Samus could actually talk back to some of these characters? Absolutely. And do I think she needs to be as talkative as she was in Other M? No, she doesn't. But I don't see how having some new characters does any harm. And I feel like people forget about Metroid Prime 3 Corruption because they might not have a Miles character that just tells nothing but witty jokes, but there's a lot of dialogue and interaction with different characters within the game. I mean, the first 3 hours of the game, Samus will be speaking with a variety of Federation soldiers, the other hunters, even generals, and I think that's pretty cool. And just watching some of these character animations for these characters and listening to the voice acting, it's extremely well done, especially coming off something like Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm sorry, Pauline's voice acting was just not great in that game. But hearing these characters and how they deliver their lines, it sounds phenomenal. And the animation and design behind them looks too good to even be in a Nintendo game. So hopefully for people that don't like Miles and his witty humor, then that way they don't have to worry about him, because it looks like he's only going to be in a small portion of the game. I believe someone said that he's only going to be for like an hour with that mission that they did and then pop up again towards the very end of the game. So I don't understand why people are making this into a larger deal than it is. But I've always wanted the Metroid series to add more characters because some of those side characters can become fan favorites. I loved Anthony Higgins from Other M, and seeing Adam Malkovich return from Metroid Fusion, this time alive as a human, was so cool to me, even though it was done in a pretty strange and awkward way with lengthy dialogue. I just can't believe something as small as a side character that chats a lot for about an hour of your gameplay time is enough to make people genuinely hate the game. And I'm not exaggerating. There are people posting canceling their pre-orders and stuff simply because it has a annoying chatty side character. It's just ridiculous, man. And it's funny too, because out of all the gameplay Nintendo has shown of this game, it seemed like 90% of the time Samus is by herself with no one near her. I mean, we didn't even know about these characters until the very end of the overview trailer that Nintendo showed, and it doesn't look like they're going to be in a majority of the game. But of course, I could be wrong. I haven't played the game. Maybe they are. But I mean, like, just watch the gameplay that I'm showing you right now. Where are these soldiers? They're nowhere to be seen. And even in the first 3 trailers for this game, we have not seen a single Federation soldier following Samus around. But people are acting like we're going to have a dedicated pet soldier that's following us close to our hip the entire playthrough of this game. That's not going to happen. Just once again, go back and watch the gameplay. It shows you that you will be isolated a lot in this game. But I just think we live in a day and age where complaining is just what we do. You know what I mean? We're all victims of it, and it just seems like that's kind of the new thing. You know, something comes out, people are excited about it, something is in the game that some people don't like, and then they make it a big deal. Before you go typing, yes, I know, I've done the same thing with Mario Kart World. That's a different story because it was more than just a talking NPC character that joins Mario. And I also waited for the game to come out before I started complaining all over the internet. But as a fellow Metroid fan, it is just kind of sad to me because we waited so long for this game. We waited so long since that initial reveal, and it just feels like it's all getting sucked down the drain. Like, instead of all of us being excited about all this gameplay and stuff, everyone is just complaining, and it's getting more than just the NPC characters. People are complaining about that open world desert being too open, or the motorcycle sections not being what Metroid is about. And that's another issue. Everybody wants Metroid to do new things and to change and to evolve, but when they try new things and do new things and change and evolve, people get upset. From every preview that I've heard, this game plays, it sounds, and it feels like a Metroid game, down to the core, but it just adds some new additions like psychic abilities, some Federation soldiers that help you on some various missions, and a new vehicle for Samus to ride. So strange enough, I feel like I'm finally on the right side of the Switch 2 support, because since Switch 2 came out, I've been pretty hard on it. I think the only game that's truly impressed me was Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I've been very vocal that I've not been too happy with what Nintendo's been doing with the Switch 2 and its games, but now it's like I'm flipped with the community. Well, now everyone's hating on this game, and I'm actually really excited to play this one. It's just, yeah, that's the internet nowadays. But yeah, we'll see what this game actually pans out to be with its finished product, but I have some faith. I do think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a stellar title, and we get to find out relatively soon, literally in just about 3 weeks. So let me know in the comments down below, are you still excited for Metroid Prime 4? Are you not excited anymore because of these NPC characters or for another reason? Let me know, and please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Metroid and Nintendo in general, and I hope you all have a blessed day. See you guys.